Hey everyone, I'm making this video to kind of walk you guys through this interactive rock cycle activity that I assigned for Tuesday's lesson. So let's take a look at it. I have on my screen my view of Canvas. Of course, you'll start with modules, and you'll see here Tuesday, April 14th. That will show up for you as soon as I'm done making these videos. But if we click on the lesson, you'll see the first thing to do is I have a couple videos for you to watch. One of them actually goes through and explains the different steps of the rock cycle, the different types of rocks. So maybe you've already watched it before you watch this one. The second one is just kind of for fun, way to help you remember what the different types of rocks are. But the heart of the lesson today is definitely still exploring these types of rocks, but is doing so by taking a look at this little interactive rock cycle. There's a little link for it right here. If you click on that, there's actually a lot to this, and I'm not asking you to do it all today. Instead, there's just a couple of parts. So yes, you see that where that link is there. First thing you will do is look over the introduction, read through here. It shows the cycle of rocks. In the video I made yesterday, I said there's three types of rocks. Sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous rocks, and they are all related to each other. One becomes the other, which becomes the other, and so on. And that's what it's going to explore today, but it's mainly about sort of learning the differences of those three types of rocks. So once you've read through that, click on the second part, types of rocks. What I want you guys to do is to go through here and just read through this. Pay attention to each type. How are they different from each other? So, for example, sedimentary rock is a whole bunch of sediments, sand, and little pebbles and stuff like that. They get all compressed together and stuck into rock over long periods of time. As it says here, it's also the type of rock where you find fossils, because if you have a bed of loose pebbles and sand and an animal dies in it and sinks into it, that becomes the basis actually of how the fossil forms in the first place. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, just kind of read through it of each type. You'll see that there are differences for metamorphic, for igneous. Igneous is more of the direct result of rocks that are made straight from magma and lava from volcanoes. When they cool down, they become rock, and that is igneous rock. But kind of depends upon how that happens, and you get different types. So yeah, read through here. You'll notice that there are 6 characteristics that make up each type of rock. So if you ever go out and pick up a rock, say, I wonder what kind of rock this is. These are some of the things you're going to look for. Does it have crystals? Are there fossils, gas bubbles, and so on? So yeah, I want you guys to read through there. I am going to have you answer some questions about it. So, pay attention, see if you can figure out for example, which type of rock has glassy surfaces, which type has gas bubbles, and so on. Once you think you got a good understanding of the difference between the three, you can click on this Start Your Rock Collection. Go ahead and click on Begin. And you'll notice that they give a little graphic here with a bunch of different types of rock. These aren't the big main 3 types, but they are specific types. So I'll just click on this first one, and this is something called gneiss. And it talks a little bit about it. It's a type of metamorphic rock. And yeah, just read about there. Click on Add it to your rock collection. Do this for all of these. Read through the description. Talk about how they're made. Some limestone with some fossils in it. And so on. So that's the second part of this. You'll read through these different types of rocks. And then we have this little challenge, Identify Rock Types. Okay, you'll click on Begin, and it's like a little quiz based upon what you've learned before. I think you can go back, like if you're not sure, I think you can go back and take a look at them and like types of rocks and so on, and just work your way back through if you want to where the quiz is. But yeah, Identify Rock Types. It'll ask you questions. Okay, which of these characters can you see in the rock? You'll answer these questions. I think there are like 7 questions, I want to say. And go through there and answer that. So that's the heart of what I want you to do with this. You'll notice there's a whole lot more to go here, how rocks change, the rock cycle diagram. There's a bigger test. Don't worry about that for now. Today's lesson, I'm just trying to focus on which are these main 3 types of rocks and what are those characteristics. So with the videos you watched first, with your reading of this and answering these questions, my hope is you get a good understanding of what these main types of rocks are all about, and you're done. Now I will say one thing, in the very last part, you're going to see the last step. It says to answer the questions on Canvas in the quiz assignment. Let me pull that up just to show you what I'm looking for here. I'm just going to take a step back, put on modules again. And you'll see here it's called rock types is what I'm, this little answer. It's like a quiz, but it's more general questions. So you'll go through here and you'll take this. What are the 3 main types of rocks? You'll answer these questions as you go through. There's a couple, fill in the blank, some multiple choice. Now, one thing before I let you go on this video, one of the things I'm going to have you do is to screenshot the rock cycle quiz that you took up here. Let's see, where was it? Up here. Once you finish answering that, I want you to take a screenshot of that page, and then I want you to upload it to this question 8. Now, this is probably the most complicated thing I'm asking you to do so far, but don't freak out. It's no big deal. Once you have the answers, and even if you did terrible, it doesn't matter. Just I'm hoping you're going to learn. But I want you to screenshot it. I put instructions on how to screenshot on the page, but let me just talk about, there's 2 ways. If it's a Chromebook, remember the little key is the control little square line button that we've done in class many times. That's an easy way to do it. If you are doing it on a PC, then there's a little button on your keyboard called Print Screen. If I click on that, I just clicked on it. You guys can't see me click on it. And it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say, hey, you took a screenshot or anything like that. But what you can do is you can paste that image. So if I open up Microsoft Paint, every computer should have Microsoft Paint, anything with Windows on it. Then what you can do is paste, and you'll see your screenshot came up. Okay, so again, that's Print Screen, open up Paint, and then just paste it into Paint. From there, you'll save it as a picture, and that's what you'll upload to the little question where I ask you to fill it in. If as you're trying to do this you can't figure it out, or there's any problems, again, feel free to contact me anytime, and I'd be glad to help. Anyway, that's all for now. I will talk to you all at another time.